So you know how you got the Akashic Records, right? So you can read them, right? So you went through this journey, okay? Did you realise, this is just a question for myself, because everyone's got their own abilities, which I'll talk about mine later, but your one understanding that you had power of the Akashic Records, when did you actually know you had that sort of inner power with you? How did you know?
Well, the Akashic Records is a technique I learned through the course I took. So accessing them was something that I didn't know before. But what I did understand is energy. What I do read is energy, and I've always had that gift. So with the platform that I learned, I shaped her course to suit my skills the best. So my focus stays to be on labeling karmic cycles and breaking habits. And that's where I can pick up where energetic attachments are being held within your energy field. And I focus on that more. And some other practitioners go further and they can visually see everybody's past life. And I wish I had that gift. I don't. I've never actually met somebody who does have that gift, but some people claim to.
Yeah.
But, nobody's ever been able to tell me something about my life that I didn't already know. And my own past lives, I just do that for myself. I don't allow other people there. I know that there was a lot that was carrying out in this life, and it didn't take much figuring out to see how that was manifesting for me. Once I had the tools to understand where the attachment was being held and what energetic quality that attachment held.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. People ask me, what's your superpower? And mine's pretty much, actually accessing the shadow. I like all the dark stuff, right? So, horror movies, all those kind of things. It's not a case of, but that's just a signal to say the dark side brings the light.
Oh.
The dark brings the light, if that makes any sense. So you got to go into the dark. You got to go into the
It
fog.
has to be balanced.
Absolutely.
The sun and the moon, right? It's the same thing. The night
Absolutely.
and the day.
So you got to walk in there you got to walk into the dark stuff, and dark night of the soul, sort of, all those kind of things. But everyone thinks it's evil, but it's not. I mean, you can go dark, yeah, great, Undertaker, all of that stuff, whatever. Dark side is that side, but there is a dark side that can help you in the light. That's what that's how you got to look at it. If you don't look at it that way, you're going, the other way, There's a couple of things which we'll talk about with regards to mindset. You look at people, how they've taken this gift that they've got and used it for one or the other. We'll talk about that later, because I've always fascinated the way people are so strong in the mind. There's certain individuals that are so strong in the mind, but they've taken it to the other way. We won't mention them yet, but we will mention those.
Well, yeah, our mind are so strong. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you can't.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll use the word cult leaders.
It is, right?
I'll use the word cult leaders.
I think that's why my parents, I don't even think my parents ever had, we weren't allowed to say we can't. And they don't even have awareness, but that wasn't a word we were allowed to say. It was
That's
yes,
great.
We can.
So you look at it this way. So you look at the people who have really strong minds and stuff like that, and they use that to either help or not. We're talking about cult leaders and stuff. We're going down that path. We'll go that later. But you can use if you've got someone to guide you, to help you, that's what we want to do. We want to guide people through their shadow self, which is what I do. And then what they can do is access the Akashic Records or past lives with Jackie, and you can sort of see that you can sort of get the answers that you need. You can learn about life lessons, learn about how to utilize universal law, and then you're open to all this other stuff, which is crystal healing, chakra healing, physical therapy, all those kind of things that actually stimulate. And it's really funny when you're when you're doing all this stuff here, it's really funny that, the algorithm picks up, and even to push you towards certain things, you know what I mean? Like, elixirs or something like that, or, superfoods and all those kind of things. You sort of open yourself up to understanding all that. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, g'day, Chris. Isn't dark just the absence of light? Yeah, pretty much. Because you've got the dark there. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've got the dark side of the soul in my scene with the shadow, and then you add that light in to help you increase yourself. So when you go through, how are you, mate? All the way from England. Thanks for joining in, bro. So I look at it this way: you've got your dark side, which you've developed, and then as we've talked about, it's the traumas that bring out, and then you can bring the light in to heal it. So you've got to have those healers, and you've got to understand where you're at with it, because a lot of people, they just don't realize where they're at with regards to that position in life and how it's affecting them. I realize that, and I'm getting people like yourself, my tag team partner over here, to actually access. It's just a learning curve on trying to get yourself to where you want to be, and you can use in different.
And really for me is it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go.
My work helps if you're having trouble labeling that for yourself or understanding where it's being held, and it just gives you that awareness. And as soon as we can understand the attachment mechanism, then we can see how that cycle's playing out in your life. And it does take a little bit of work on your part to understand and pay attention to what cycles have been playing out. But once we label it, we can very easily make a different choice and break the karmic ties that we have and step into our divinity and really start to align that vital source energy, which I think is what gives us, that power to continue forward and work through those darker aspects.